I got myself two beautiful 2¼ litre Land Rover engines. We will do a bit of an inspection, but this video is not really about doing work. This is a quick update. I actually picked up these two locally off Facebook Marketplace. They belong to some old mate and his granddaughter was passing them on. And I have no idea what condition these are in or really know anything else about them. We'll look into that a little bit more later. Please excuse the mess, I'm reorganising. I'm actually lining this wall, or going to line this wall, so I've been building shelves and stuff to go up there. Let's start the update with the one nobody gives a damn about, which I don't understand because this is the best 4x4 by far. I plan on 3 more discovery videos. Suspension, brakes, steering, those will be 2 videos, and then wrap it all up by finishing the exterior. Also, I owe you an update on fuel mileage. Well, I don't have one because I keep messing up the measurements. I took the cluster out, it reset the trip meter. I accidentally half filled the tank, and the tank leaks now, so I'll have to run it empty and then refill it and start again. Anyway, eventually I will give you an update on the fuel mileage situation, but I assume it's better. I mean, terrible, but hopefully better. And this one is, as you last saw it, this Land Rover is never going to disappear, so don't worry about that. It will be finished. In fact, part of the reason I'm reorganising is so I have space to do all the body work, because I don't really want to paint this one under a tree. Now, there's something else I want to mention. The only real reason I am telling you about this is because, well, you're going to see it in the background anyway, and I don't want endless comments about, what is it? Why have you got another project? Don't you have enough to do? Etc. So here it is, a Rover 750 SF1. This is a pretty cool classic Italian motorcycle. Now, I did not go looking for another project. I've got enough to do. But the bike ended up with me, and I'll go into that more if I ever make a video about it. As you can see, this bike really needs to be fully restored, which I'm in no position to do. That would be a $15,000 to $20,000 project, and yeah, I've got broken Land Rovers to take care of. Any project that's spread across boxes is at risk of becoming abandoned and lost and then sold off for parts. I don't want that to happen. This bike is hopefully going to be with me for the rest of my life, and so in the meantime what I want to do is put it all back together, more or less as things are. Just so it's in one piece, it looks like a motorcycle again, it may be rideable, I'm not sure. Anyway, if I do make a video about this bike, that will be on my other channel. Okay, so I put a call out looking for an engine in the last video I made. And again, thank you to those people who did email me. I happened to find these two on Facebook Marketplace, completely unrelated, relatively locally. They didn't cost very much. They're definitely worth more in scrap metal than I paid for them, but they could be scrap metal. So why have I bought these engines? Well, first of all, I was only looking for one. Two's a bit of a bonus, I guess. I bought them specifically to rebuild because, well, I like rebuilding engines. And at the end of it, if I can sell the engine, then I can put that money into these bottomless pits. And if rebuilding one of these engines is successful, well, first of all, I'll probably do the other one, and then maybe something else, a Series 1 engine, maybe even a V8. I know one that needs work. Anyway, that's the basic plan. Speaking of more pocket money, Rodney is for sale. I know, I'm kind of attached to Rodney as well, but the truth is, I don't really need him. I think it's time we both moved on. In seriousness, I have a pantograph machine, which can also function as a small milling machine, and I have the shaper, of course. So Rodney is doubling up on capability, and he just takes up a lot of space. And he's worth a lot of money. So right now, Rodney's still in perfect condition, a good time to sell, so get out of my life. Basically, Rodney, you're for sale. I'll put him on Trade Me sometime in the next couple of days, but if anyone wants to get in early, send me an email. As you can see, these engines are not particularly complete in terms of accessories. This one has more stuff attached to it, so I will probably start with this one. In fact, this one could be spare parts for this one, I'm not sure. Anyway, these are both Series 3 8-1 compression engines. There is a serial number stamped here on the block, just above the alternator. And the first 3 digits, in this case 901, are going to tell you roughly when this engine was built and what it was, petrol, diesel, etc. So 901 are the first 3 digits, and that should be a early-ish Series 3 8-to-1 compression engines, which we can confirm up here. So all of the Series 3 are going to have either a 7 or an 8 stamped here. But this is where you want to look to find out if you've got a 7-to-1 or an 8-to-1 compression engine. And I happen to have a Series 2 head sitting here because why wouldn't I? And you can see there is no raised flat area. So this is an older head, this will be 7-to-1. I'm not a Land Rover historian, but as far as I know, all of the older heads were 7-to-1. So anyway, these are 2 run-of-the-mill high compression Series 3 engines. We can also date this one a little more accurately based on the distributor. This is a Lucas 25D distributor. You can tell by the little adjustment knob. And at some point mid-Series 3, Land Rover switched over to using the 45D distributor. So that's just another little confirmation that this is early to mid-Series 3. Now, in terms of condition, I have no idea. As you can see, this one is missing both manifolds, and in fact, the head is off for some reason, which means I'm missing obviously push rods and all the bolts that hold the head down. Okay, let's have a look in here. Why am I doing this in my only good pair of shorts? I don't know. All right. Oh, it's heavy. Don't touch my pants. Voila. Well, first of all, the condition in here doesn't really matter because I'll almost certainly be reboring both engines and putting oversized pistons in. But, crucially, I can't see any size markings. Normally oversized pistons are stamped 20, 30, 40 thou. And these, I can't see any size markings like that on them. Because obviously if these are the original pistons, or at least the original size, we have more room to rebore. Because once you get past, I think, about 50 thousandths, that's the maximum. At that point you would have to sleeve the engine and start from scratch, which is not really worth it on one of these. Unless, of course, it was your precious original engine. Now this one, the generally more complete one, is also missing both manifolds, which is more of a concern. Because the head's on this one, that means that some of the valves will be open, which means moisture and air has been able to enter the cylinders. So long as it's been stored in a garage the whole time, it's probably okay, but we'll have to just find out when we pull the head off. Now, like I said earlier, in all likelihood this is going to be rebored with new pistons, so long as the internal damage isn't too bad, that isn't really a problem anyway. One thing I noticed is that the oil fill tube hole has been blocked off and the cap has been replaced with an older style breather cap. In other words, somebody has deleted the CCV system. Don't do that. Okay, so there you have it. That's what I've got. And as you're watching this, this motor is probably already in pieces. I want to get onto this pretty quickly. I am looking for parts, specifically inlet manifold and a carburetor. Probably a Zenith. So if anyone in New Zealand wants to sell me a carburetor or an inlet manifold, please get in touch. Okay, that's it. Oh, and if you want to check out a guy making bad life choices, I mean buying and fixing an old Land Rover, go and check out Simon. He decided he needed a project Land Rover to go alongside his other Land Rover. Alright, see ya.